Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Teatime Thots. That is Thoughts with an O, the channel where we discuss thoughts and drink tea. So today I'm going to be reacting to more Bridezillas.
He's over here trying to sabotage the most important thing on my day!
And as always, I encourage people to leave a comment if you have any thoughts about these thoughts I'm about to start discussing. I did actually try to do an Am I the Asshole video earlier because those are usually really funny. It completely backfired on me. They were two like horrifically heartbreaking stories that I could not in good conscience react to in the spirit and the tone that this channel is shaping up to be hopefully known for. I could not. I was too sad and empathetic. I shed a couple of tears, and so we're back on the Bridezilla train, at least for now. So let's jump right in, shall we? Am I the asshole for kicking a server out of my wedding? I don't know. I don't know. And as you guys know, I don't read these up front. I read the title, I read the first sentence, and I read the last sentence. I actually have no idea, but I'm really invested in the title. I, 25 female, and my husband, 30 male, got married last Friday. Oh, congratulations! We planned our dream wedding down to our dream catering company. Wow! I can't even plan a fucking birthday party. The wedding was beautiful. After the pictures, we headed to our cocktail hour, and that's when I saw her. My guests were all told to wear dark clothes, so my husband and I stood out. I also asked my guests to wear minimal makeup. You told your wedding guests to dress as if they were going to a funeral? Okay. I had assumed that would apply to the staff too. It would if you told them. I don't know if you told them. I'm guessing, given what a control freak you're coming off as right now, you probably did tell them. The server, 19-ish female, had clearly too much eyeliner on. She also had diamond studs in her ears, a flashy ring, and one of those ugly nose studs. You mean like the little studs some people get in the side of their nose that are actually kind of sexy? Is that the ugly nose stud you're referring to, OP? Oh, she's giving Bridezilla from hell. The staff's uniform was a black long sleeve shirt, but on her, it was too low cut and her pants were far too tight. Oh, OP, sweetie. It was super distracting. I bet it was. She was walking around serving drinks and talking to my guests. How dare she? How dare she communicate with the people that she's serving food and drinks to? I can't believe this. And it's so funny, OP, because your whole idea of putting everyone in black with no makeup, just like shrouded nuns, totally backfired because that made her stand out even more, I bet. I asked another member of the staff to speak to their boss. When their boss came out, I pointed to the server and asked that she be dealt with because of how distracted she was. She was super distracting. Their boss apologized and called the server into the kitchen. Not even an hour later, the server was back again, serving food for dinner. I called the boss over again and asked if the server could work in the back or go home. Oh, geez, such a raging bitch. Her boss said they were short-staffed tonight, but she would see what could be done. Bruh. After a couple of hours of not seeing her, I saw the server again behind the bar. Stop. I called the boss out one last time and told her if that server didn't leave, I would be calling the cops. Imagine calling the police because you're jealous of someone.
There's a girl at my wedding. She's prettier than me. She's skinnier than me. Whatever she was, she's younger than me.
I have no idea what her problem was with this person. I'm suspecting it's something along those lines.
You gotta come arrest her because she's working a job I asked her to do.
The boss finally relented and told the girl to go home. I mean, good for the boss for trying to keep the peace and like catering to the whim of this psycho. I don't think anything would have happened with the cops. I think the cops would have shown up. They would have heard this story They just would have like turned around without a word and just left. My husband and mother-in-law said I was acting crazy and that I probably got a poor college kid fired over nothing. I'm sorry. No. If her boss fired her, that's a wrongful dismissal suit right there. She did nothing wrong. My mother and M-O, maid of honor, said it's my wedding, so I can do as I please. That's not how that works. It's not how any of that works. It's my wedding, so I can do as I please. Imagine if she like whipped out an automatic weapon and just started shooting up the place. And you can't just do whatever you want because you're wearing a white dress and a veil. Jesus. It's my wedding. I don't want someone overshining me. See? Jealous. I don't want someone overshining me. And the server should know she's at work and not dress up so much. I do feel kind of bad because she was pretty young. Bruh. Am I the ass? Yes! Be your fucking ass. You're more than an asshole. You're a psycho, jealous bitch. Like, it would be one thing if she were dressed like inappropriately, right? I mean, then if you kicked her out, I don't know, I'd still think you were the asshole, but I think the jury would be a little more out on that. But no, OP, you're a giant, jealous asshole. What the you gotta get your self-esteem in check, lady. It sounds to me like you won't even allow women around your husband, not to mention your wedding guests, because it wasn't just the fact that you were jealous of her, presumably because your husband might have noticed her, but that your guests were talking to her.
I don't know if they're talking to her to be polite or if they find her prettier than me. Either way, I'm calling the cops if she doesn't leave.
I want to see an update. I want to see an update. Next, psycho. Asked to be maid of honor and kicked out of the entire party all in 1 month. Wedding is in 2024, by the way. Wow. So if you're not the asshole, then the bride is insane. I've known the bride-to-be since we were very young. She had a pretty rough upbringing, so as a kid she spent a lot of time with me at my house. That's nice, OP. That's good. I mean, it's not nice that she had a rough upbringing, but it's good that she had a friend, and you know, that's nice. We had a huge falling out in high school for many reasons, but mainly she was turning into a raging alcoholic, becoming more and more violent and just completely unhinged. She was going through a lot, but did not make it easy. She even tried to punch me in a drunken stupor at a bar. Why would you go to a bar with an alcoholic?
I have 1 speed, 1 gear, go. Oh, shut up. Stop.
Fast forward 8 years and we got back in touch. Older and more mature, I thought. Drama. They're already getting bar fights. We spent 2 years planning visits. I moved cross country, speaking every day and just being friends. This is where shit gets ugly. Yes. We live for ugly shit. She has a wedding in 2024 and originally had another childhood friend to be her maid of honor, her ma. This ma was one of those great when single friends, but nowhere to be found when they have a romantic relationship type. Yeah, it happens. I've seen this bride multiple times, even when dress shopping with her across the damn country. Ma lives an hour away and hasn't made any effort as a friend, so bride snatches the title of ma away and proceeds to text me telling me I am a better fit. The original ma was happy to pass on this and said, yeah, I would be a better fit. I think she just clearly didn't want to do it. I did not want this title. No? I guess there's like more work involved in being the maid of honor, but most people get in cat fights over who's going to be the maid of honor. I was so happy as a bridesmaid. I told her I'd help as much as possible, but I just didn't feel comfortable being the maid of honor. Why? I mean, is it just because you still don't really trust her because of the whole like alcoholic bar fight and pleasantness, or like what is it? She proceeded to delete a beautiful post she wrote about me being her sister before we could even talk it out, after talking it out like adults. So I noticed she deleted the sweet post she made about me and called her out. Hold on. There's something wrong with this sentence. It doesn't make sense. She proceeded to delete a beautiful post she wrote about me being her sister before we could even talk it out. After talking it out like adults, I noticed she deleted the sweet post she made about me. and I called her out. Did you talk about it or not? If you did, what happened during that conversation? Because it sounds to me like you didn't talk. And she got really pissed off about something. She said she's sorry. She'll fix it. I love that we live in this digital age where anytime you make some kind of rash decision on social media to like delete a post or get rid of a friend or this or that or unfollow someone or block someone, blame the software. Like, oh, it was a glitch. That was a glitch. It was an accident. I didn't mean to block you. It's glitchy. I just did an update. Glitchy, glitchy, glitch. I'm sorry. It was an accident. I'll fix it. I said moving forward, let's talk before, I don't know, scrubbing me from your life. Because that is childish and spiteful, and we are at a point in our friendship where we can talk it out. No. If you can't talk it out, there is no friendship, okay? There could be an acquaintanceship, there could be mutual respect, you could be very, very fond of one another's company. But you don't have a friendship if you don't have healthy communication. That's part of the friendship criteria. It's on a list of things that need to be happening before you can call yourself someone's friend. That I take the word friend very seriously. That is my F word, is friend. If we can't communicate, we ain't friends. Anyway, nope. She cursed me out, calling me a manipulator, gaslighter, selfish, telling me I never changed, and I'm not what she thought I was. I need to take responsibility for how I made her feel like garbage, and these are my consequences, and I need to own it. I have so many questions. I'm going to ask them. Number one, does the whole talking it out, not talking it out thing, because you said you didn't talk, but then you appeared to say that she got weird on social media after you did talk. I'd like to know what happened in those conversations. I'd also like to know if OP is telling us the whole story. And maybe she is. And if she is, her friend's a fucking wackadoo. Your friend's a goddamn wackadoo, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's still drinking. If you're telling the absolute truth and you're not leaving anything out, which I think you are, you know how some people get when they're drunk. Your forebrain shuts down, and then your hind brains all start shutting down, and you say and do things that you don't mean to. That's why alcohol is such a shitty drug, especially in excess. It's something negative always comes out, even if you just fall down a lot and throw up on people's shoes. This is very possible. But all she said was, I really don't want to be maid of honor. And all of a sudden, this woman's using words like manipulating and gaslighting. I could see the bride, fair or not, I could see her getting absolutely angry at somebody turning down a maid of honor role. Whether that's fair, whether that's not, that makes sense. People don't use words like that. Even drunks don't use words like that when somebody just simply says, I really don't want to do this job. I want to be in your wedding. I want to be your bridesmaid. I just don't want to be the mo. So I think a lot more happened here than OP's talking about. And plus, OP's sentence structure is really jumbled and garbly. I think OP's drunk. This is a drunk post. I think so. And again, the fact that people get drunk, that does not necessarily make them alcoholics. I just think that she's giving drunk in this post. And I think given the content, it's not the best time to drunk post. All right, so one of the messages, we're gonna get to read one of her messages that she sent. This might answer some of my questions. One of her messages went, literally assume the worst of me, that I'll dead you for expressing like, wow, anything else? Let's try that again. Literally assume the worst of me, that I'll dead you for expressing like, wow, anything else?
That you want.
Okay, so the bride is still clearly drinking too. I mean, that's, yeah, or she's on something. You got your wish. You're so right. See how right you are. You manifested this. Wow, manifested. Pulling out all the vocabulary for this rant. Yeah, take care, dude. I've come way too far in my healing journey to be abused again and judged over something you created. I'm all sad. I want to know what happened between these two. It can't just be, I don't want to be your maid of honor. It can't just, there's got to be more. So it went on and on like this, telling me most people are not as forgiving as her or would forgive me. For what? I feel like there's so much of this story missing, OP, and I think you know it. I didn't do anything that would need deep levels of forgiveness. Turning down a job doesn't require you to ask for any forgiveness. I mean, I would. Like if I turned down a maid of honor role, I know that it would be disappointing for the bride. I would say, look, I'm so sorry. Like, I hope you forgive me. You're not required to be a maid of honor in a wedding. She doesn't understand how awful she was as teenagers, and she is just as awful now. So if she has continued drinking up to this point, of course she is. Of course she is. Maturity basically consists of three things as you're growing up: getting bigger, getting more hormonal, and learning coping mechanisms so that you can pass into your next milestone of life. So kids who start drinking or using drugs at a young age, they don't have to cope because now they've just got a chemistry set that does their coping for them. So if she never recovered from her alcoholism or drug use or like whatever the hell, in here, you're dealing with a 16-year-old. I was being attacked with paragraphs after paragraph, and then I was completely blocked. Mind you, the original maid of honor did not get an ounce of anger or disrespect. I mean that you know of. She was being straight cruel to me, throwing away 2 years of friendship we built, along with a family that has known her her whole life. I cried a lot, but I think it's better to just let this old friendship die. I'm so baffled at her reaction and how she is so quick to throw me away and belittle me. Right, yeah, everyone's the asshole here, and I'll tell you why. If my assumptions are incorrect, you are not the asshole. You dodged a major psycho little bullet. But if my assumptions are correct, I think there's a lot more to this story than you're telling us, and you're leaving out anything that doesn't make you come off well. And so I think if there were heated words and you did say shitty things or you did betray her in some way that you're not telling us, I think that I would say everybody's the asshole here. Your friend is clearly the asshole. Clearly, she's an asshole. There's no question about that. I just feel like there's a lot missing from this story, and I really want to know what it is. I feel like I watched a movie with a bunch of plot holes in it, and I'm just like, damn it! How did they get the time machine back to the 1800s if they were in the 1800s when the time machine was? This is like one of those time travel movies that just does not add up, and you know that if that actually happened in real life, it would completely destroy the space-time continuum and the universe would cease to exist. That's how I feel reading this story. I don't think we're hearing the whole truth here. Ow! I'm a hyphy. That's 2 more fun little Bridezilla stories for everybody. If you have any thoughts about these people, please drop them down into the comment section. We always like comments around here. And if you have anything to say to me, whether you want to tell me to keep up the good work, to fix my lighting, or to tell me to go F myself, please drop it all downstairs in the comment section because it pumps the algorithm either way. And if you want to see more of my face, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, stay thoughty, drink tea.